I could have sworn I heard dishes rattle and smelled coffee.
Don't worry, it's on the way. It'll be here any minute.
I may not last that long. Train's stopping. Where are we?
La Junta, Colorado. And don't be peeking at the sights. Why don't you go and play cards or something?
I can't. I ate the deck.
Highway 50 and Colorado 207, and this is where the movie opens. Unusual for a big star like that to be introduced to the movie, but he's actually coming out of a shitter. Right where I'm standing now is a little park, but there used to be a enormous building here, and it's in a couple of in some of the background in a few of the shots when they're filming over here. So, but this building, an old mercantile, is long gone, been knocked down, and now they have this park. Just trucking shit up and down this highway.
Hey, I hear you're looking for a crew. Maybe I could get you some winos.
Maybe I can fix it so you'll never smile again.
I'm tired of talking to you.
That old building, that old furniture store, that's in the, especially that weird doorway. It has that little alpine peak thing going on that doorway over there. That's in the background of a lot of shots. So Charles Bronson walks across the street.
Melons before? Luis? All his life. He was born in a melon field.
Okay.
So the bar that was in the movie, so they filmed in here. It's nothing like it was 45 years ago, but the building is still here.
That was 10 years old when they filmed this movie, yep.
And you guys came down and watched them?
We came down and watched them in the liquor store parking lot, or as a gas station at that time. We stood behind them as they were filming. Charles Bronson and Jill Ireland sitting there in the chair in between sets, and we got their autographs, and then it was funny, my brother was standing behind them and kept sniffling, so finally Charles Bronson got frustrated with it and reached in his pocket and pulled out a hanky for him just because he was tired of the sniffling. When the movie was filmed, this building was vacant. You can see in the movie it's vacant. The building to the east right there was the Majestyk bar. And all the scenes that were in the movie.
Who owned that back then? You know?
I don't know at that time, you know, I was just a kid. Was the Majestyk.
At the time on the film, over on the corner, there used to be a gas station.
Yeah, but who owned the Majestyk bar at that time? Who owned the Majestyk then? Wasn't there any Shamblin? Or not, who was the old man Shamblin? Rusty. He had it for a time after that.
He had it after.
And then it became the Red Apple.
Yeah.
And then moved across the street.
I don't know if they filmed the one beside the thing too.
Yeah. And you know, in the movie it looks huge.
Yes.
And you go in there now, it's like, where was that pool table and all these chairs?
Was she blonde, blue-eyed?
Blonde most of the time. Ever put your hair up in rollers?
So what do you do up there, or what? Besides?
Right now, nothing. over 100 down here. God, is it fucking hot. Oh man, picked a bad day. So Charlie wants to use his Mexican laborers, you know, the pickers, the migrants. And the local tough guys, they want him to use a bunch of drunks, a bunch of bums. Cheap labor, you know.
Put him in a car.
Cops are called. He gets thrown in jail. They take him to jail for assault. So this is where he was taken. And this is the building. I mean, they've added on to it over, 45 years. They've added quite a bit to it. So this is where, in this building, is where the movie really kind of takes quite a twist, is where Charles Bronson, Mr. Majestyk, meets Al Lettieri, Renda. And he's in jail. He's a big-time Mafia guy, and the local cops have him in the jail, and that's where these two meet. It's in the jail. So they're both on the transport bus with a couple other prisoners, and that is where the big shootout occurs, right down the street on 4th and Colorado, La Junta. So this is where the shootout begins. The guy that actually takes out the bus driver, he's standing right here in front of this sign, puts on his little stocking cap, runs out in the middle of the street, and pretty good special effect. Starts, actually shoots through the window of the bus, kills the driver, and the shootout ensues. Right here, 4th and Colorado, La Junta, Colorado. There you go, that building's in the background. That's the post office, I believe. And big shootout in the middle of the street. Bunch of cars crashing. A lot of action. A lot of action.
The case for the handcuffs. The case! Move!
You wanted to get a 70s heavy, the tough guy, you hired Al Lettieri. You would cast him in your movie. Because this guy was a great actor.
This kid's got class, Tony. She's a virgin or I'm Joe DiMaggio.
The guy only lived to be 47 years old, had a heart attack. I mean, he could have been legendary. But the few movies that he was in, he was quite a presence, I gotta say. In his career, unfortunately for Al, playing the heavy, he gets shot. Almost in every movie the guy's in, he gets shot. He's in The Godfather. He gets shot by Al Pacino. Then he's in the movie McHugh with John Wayne, and once again gets shot by John Wayne. He's in Sam Peckinpah's The Getaway, and he's shot by Steve McQueen. He's in a couple other movies. He's in another movie called The Dawn is Dead, and he gets shot by a cab driver, of all things, and he puts on a hell of a performance. And of course, he is gunned down by Charlie Bronson. That's a big part of this tour. Not only was Charlie Bronson on these streets, but so was Al Lettieri. So here's to Al. Come cruising down this road in the little school bus, the police school bus van. Come racing through here, and underneath this, actually goes underneath Highway 50. A little school bus comes charging down through here. Past these chunks of concrete, those are in the shot as they come through. And then through another underpass. So yeah, this is kind of cool. Yeah, that's exactly where they drove through here. Flying through that old bus. It's so hot, and I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit. I don't even know where I'm at anymore. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know why I'm here.
I don't even know what I'm doing here. I don't give a damn about that melon picker.
So they merged La Junta and Manzanola, these two towns along Highway 50. It's only about a 15-minute drive. I don't think it was a very far drive to get to the two towns. But in the movie, they use locations from both towns, and in the movie it is Edna, Colorado.
How much to call Edna?
Edna? 2 bits.
So I thought maybe I'd find me a melon and get to know a little bit. We want to, I don't not only want to know the movie, but let's get an idea on what exactly goes on down here in, this is southeastern Colorado. There are no mountains. It's like Kansas. It's bad. And it's a lot of farming, but I guess they don't grow as many melons as they used to. This was at one time the world capital of watermelons. I don't know if that's true or not, but it does sound good.
And a couple bottles of beer to go, okay?
All he wants to do is pick them melons, It's the most important thing in his whole life is to get those melons picked. The movie is basically about watermelons. I want to pick my watermelons.
Well, what do you want? I want to get a melon crop in.
Go home and pick your melons. If he finds anybody hasn't slipped melons, they come back. I don't hire winos who never slipped melons before.
Just helping my friend delivering some melons.
You know something about melons?
That's all that's worrying you? Melons?
And all you're worried about is your melon crop.
I'll just get rid of these melons and I'm gone.
Leave the melons you'll pick.
There's a melon I gotta pick.
You can go pick all the melons you want.
It's got a few melons.
And they make it look like it's not very far away, but it is a little bit of a drive. The Ford pickup car chase, and that was filmed still on Highway 50, quite a bit further west in Canyon City. It's hard to find exactly where the car chase took place, especially the pickup going over the sandstone, the red rocks, making those jumps and everything. I'd love to have found that. This is Canyon City, Colorado. We're about 75, 80 miles from La Junta. And, Jesus, swallowed a fly. So I had to kind of hike up, and it's brutally hot again today. It's gonna be 100 fucking degrees, and it is rough. So, come through these tunnels. This hasn't changed much. I don't think it will for a while. I don't even really know where this road goes.
That melon picker sucked us in.
Fucking gnats. So I'm not eating lunch today.
Hey, didn't somebody say something about a cold beer after work?
Well, this little boy, his father was going to town one day and he saw his boy looking hungrily at those watermelons that were not yet quite ripe, and he said, "Son, don't you touch those watermelons. I'm going on to town." So he went to town, and the little boy began to look at the watermelons, and then began to thump them, and he found one that he knew was ripe. So he pulled it, went down into the woods, put it in some cool water and let it cool a little bit, and then he split it open with a rock, and he ate that watermelon, and it tasted so good. But he didn't know what to do with the rind and the seed, so he dug a hole and he buried it and forgot about it. And about 3-4 weeks later, his father was crossing the fence after chasing a cow, and he saw little watermelon sprouts everywhere. And so he dug down in there and he found out what had happened. And he went to talk to his son, and he gave his son a little reprimand because he knew what his son had done. He deceived him. Be sure your sin will find you out. Watermelon sprouts will come up.
But you didn't see this coming. This is where my mom is buried. In this mausoleum down here. Brought her down here in January. Place was, I was surprised they even let her stay. I mean, it was totally, I mean, it wasn't even close to being finished. It was just roughed in, and now go in there and take a look, and I think they're almost done. I think they got the roof to do, but the inside, from what I understand, is finished. So let's go visit Mom. What do you say? She's the only one in here. I don't think she'll mind. She always enjoyed when I'd stop by.
Glorious Majestyk to judge the world, the earth and the sea shall give up their dead, and the corruptible bodies of those who sleep in him shall be changed, and made like unto his own glorious body, according to the mighty working whereby he is able to subdue all things unto himself. So I think now would be the time to get our muscles together, slip Catherine slaves.
Yeah. Well, we gotta leave the tree.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I know, it's going to be a challenge. Where's
Man.
our strong guy?
Oh, he's available.
No, but where's your worker guy? He said he was going to help.
Oh, yeah.
This is exactly the point at which those young muscles could be most valuable. Well, I didn't see how to think about it, your muscles.
He doesn't.
I can help.
Or he doesn't like young knees.
Well, that's why I got that spot. They didn't want to go any higher.
That's right.
It would have been impossible.
Here we go. Appreciate it. So we're going to
the whole tree.
I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, and henceforth blessed are the dead who die of the Lord. Even so saith the Spirit, till they rest from their labors. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up a mighty salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our forefathers, and to remember his holy covenant. To perform the oath which he sware to our forefather Abraham that he would give us, that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear, in holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our life.
Get the man's melons in.
You heard him. Get the melons in.
I have to be careful what I shoot at.
Filming over here by the police station. What are you doing out here taking pictures? You know, the world's so fucked anymore. You know, back in '73, I could have walked right in there and taken, you can't even go in the building. It's all locked. There's some kid in there. When I said, hey, you know, I'm here just checking out Mr. Majestyk. Who? I don't know what. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, you don't expect them to, but you know, it's just everything's so fucked anymore. The world is so fucked. It's not like it was. There's nobody home, and I went up to the gate, and of course he's got these man-eating fucking dogs, and they came out to greet me. Just outside of, no, that's the wrong town. Cantaloupe, watermelon, your melons, whatever your melons are, you know? We got some pretty good melons out here. Can't even see the mountains from here. It's a little hazy out now. Got a little hazy. It's hot as fuck. Brutal, barren, godforsaken, hot, desolate, southern Colorado, eastern Colorado. Jesus, this place. Man, I could never work here. I could never do this. Never. Kind of like to interview the Unabomber. I guess he's there, Ted Kaczynski. And most of the bombers, your big bombers, are held in Supermax.